If you have been around the page for the past few months, you know that we have conducted a deep dive into the Guild, which paved the way for modern Freemasonry. We have learned where the word lodge came from, the Regis manuscript, the Frith guilds relating passages to new lands, and Nightingale, which taught us how charters are constructed. Diving further down, today's instruction will be on the merchant and craft guilds. So, get comfortable. It's a long one. As the world progressed, diving into the latter years, especially regarding trade and industry development, two guilds emerged after the Frith and Knights guilds somewhere before 1135 AD. During these times, revolving around commerce and how the towns began to thrive, focusing on developing a guild that surrounded those within the commerce industry was needed. This guild, different from the stone guilds of the day, was assembled and involved those in the financing, shop owners, and even local government members. There was a fine line as to where the private sector line was drawn and where the government began. But as it relates to this guild, it was within the body that was created. Yes, you are thinking correctly as to why they defined these guilds as such, creating a conflict of interest in how the guild and local government was run. And yes, it began a deep divide as discussion of the guild and politics later became frowned upon. Beneficially, during this same time, the craftsmen created separate entities to discuss their talent among a more extensive network. At the start, the Crafts Guild was purely just that, men and women who wanted to expand their network to further their craft. But later on, it arrived at a new meaning. The word craft was first speculated as art and mystery, and further came on the term apprentice, from members of the Craft Guild. This same guild later absorbed the Merchants Guild upon its collapse and began to model other ideologies around the purpose of the Craft Guild. The Craft Guild was on for several centuries until Edward V dissolved the guild in 1547. For 400 years, the Craft Guild further built upon the previous guilds and paved the way to what speculative Freemasonry is today. The parallels between the earlier lessons and now will help Masons understand why we do things the way we do, and how tradition is rooted in Freemasonry.